Let's do it.
What's up, JDLians? Welcome back. In a violent sea of premium headphones costing $350 or more, JBL has come hard in the paint with the new Club One active noise canceling headphones. I had to pick these up because they were made by JBL, and just look at them. The look of them is just sweet, so I had to get my hands on them and try them out. The unboxing experience is second to none. I mean, look at this. It is a gorgeous unboxing experience with the headphones front and center, and once you pick it up, you automatically feel the build quality that comes out of these headphones. Even the case is supreme build quality. It almost comes in like a waterproof case, but it is not waterproof. Don't get it twisted. It just kind of looks like it because they kind of seal off the zipper right there. You got their JBL branding right there. It almost looks like a gear, but it's not. It's kind of like a sprocket almost. Then you got your branding on the zippers, and then you have an opening for your lanyard so you can just kind of carry it or strap it onto a backpack or something like that. And you got your club branding right there on the top. Once you open up the case, you continue to feel and see that build quality that I was talking about, and you pick them up and you immediately feel the weight. These headphones exude build quality, and this is something I want to bring up. A lot of people always talk about using better materials to build headphones with, such as metal. Now, when you introduce metal into a set of headphones, you also introduce weight, and these are proof in the pudding. These are pretty much on all metal and vinyl build, and you do feel that extra weight. When you finally get them unfolded, you continue to see that build quality right there in the driver grille. It has kind of a JBL logo embedded in there, and it's actually machined in there, and you can clearly see those drivers in there. And the ear cups are nice and plush. That is a memory foam that you're feeling in there. And these headphones, believe it or not, almost give me kind of a feel for the Parrot Zeke 2s that I love so much when you talk about the headband as well as the ear cup and the ear cushion. Now, on the left hand side of the ear cups, you'll see a big push button right here, and we'll get to that later. You see your JBL Club branding right there, then it moves over to the right side where you have an identical setup. But let's dig a little bit more into this left side. You'll see the wire right here. Some people will be really turned off by this, but I think it's actually a really cool look. But once you get over here to the button layout, this is where I start to have problems with these headphones. These buttons, they're great buttons and they work fine. However, because they're underneath this layer of plastic, it actually makes them a little harder to push than they should be. And the power button in particular, you have to hold it for 5 seconds before they turn on. To turn them off, you can hold it for maybe 2 to 3 seconds, but turning them on can take a little bit of time. So when you initially get them out of the box, just remember to hold them for about 5 seconds. Then there's your Bluetooth pairing button, and then there's your ANC button, which we'll talk about in a moment. You also have a proprietary lockable cable input right there on the left-hand side. But when you move over to the right-hand side, you'll see an identical one over there as well. So you have dual inputs right there, making these, you know, pretty flexible when it comes to DJing and stuff like that. But we'll have to talk about that later on in the video as well. You do have your USB-C input right there, and then you have your volume up and volume down buttons, which will also double as your forward and back track buttons if you hold them long enough. And then you have your multi-function button right there in the middle, which will double as play and pause and answer and ending calls. On the right ear cup, there is no push button right here. It just looks identical to the other side where you have your push button. I want to run back over to this USB-C port right here because I want to talk about battery life. The battery life is 23 hours with the noise canceling on and 45 hours with the noise canceling off. And then you get a 15-minute quick charge. After listening to these headphones for almost a week and experiencing everything that they have to offer, I have to ask myself, who are these things really made for? Are they made for the average person just like me who likes to get their jam on every once in a while? Or are they made for DJs? Or are they made for casual DJs or kind of a hybrid type of person? I don't know who these headphones are actually marketed for. I don't think these are made for the average traveler because these do not swivel at the ear cup and lay flat. That way you can slide them into a bag easily. That's just not going to happen. You only have the option to fold them up and carry them as such. But I'm sure the real question you guys came here for is, but do they jam though?
Group 5-4, we ain't a group, we the people.
They really do sound great in the Bluetooth mode, but the one thing I have to complain about as far as the sound quality is the overall volume. They just don't get loud enough for me. It really is a private concert going on in your ears due to the plush ear cups here, as well as the active noise cancellation. But if you're the type of person that is hard of hearing or just really likes to blast your music, you're always going to find yourself clicking your volume button up one or two more times and it's just not going to be there for you. So that's the one complaint I have about the actual sound quality in these. They do give you the opportunity to customize your sound within the app with some presets here from 5 actual DJs, as you can see, and all you got to do is touch on their faces. You can even find out a little bit of info about them too, if you will. But if you slide over a little bit, you'll see where you got a couple of other preset EQs there, such as piano, jazz, and vocal. And you can see there I've made the Club One EQ, which is kind of a default, and then I have my just doing audio right there. So let me just click on that one and activate it, and we'll go in and edit it. That way you can see how customizable this EQ is. So you can do as many bands as you want to, and you can just skew it as much as you want. Now I'm actually messing up my sound right now, so hope you guys appreciate this because it took me a while to kind of tweak it. But you can add as many bands as you want to, and you can move them however you see fit. Once you're done, you go ahead and check that check mark right there and you are set. When it comes to bass, they do get low enough to satisfy the average bass head. But if you want something extremely low, these are definitely capable of doing it. It's just not going to happen in Bluetooth mode. These headphones actually came with 2 sets of cables. One is a really nice coiled cable that does have that proprietary lock on one side, and on the other side it goes into a 3.5 millimeter and it's ready for a screw-on 6.2 millimeter adapter, which really lets me know that they did keep the average DJ in mind. The second cable is a really nice braided cable with the proprietary lock on one side, and on the opposite side of it you have your 3.5 millimeter with an angled head. It also has an inline mic. So that's the part that really made me curious. I had to plug these into my periodic nickel amplifier, and dang, these sound good. The volume is intolerable, but the clarity of everything, the bass hits hard. You get that nice low booty dropping bass, and the treble and the mids are on point. That's where these things actually really do shine. They make fantastic Bluetooth headphones, and as long as you're not screaming for more volume, you'll be fine. But if you plug these in wired with any kind of amp, they are going to be great. I'm telling you, they are 100% worth the $350 you would spend on them if you plan on listening to them wired. Now let's go into this ANC and smart ambient sound that they have. So right here you have on the app where it says ANC, you can toggle that on and off via the app if you want to, or you can long press the ANC button right here if you will. But if you tap right here on this smart ambient button on the app, you'll see that you only have a choice of talk through, which I have it on right now, or ambient aware. And what it's going to do is transform this button into one or the other. Once you tap it once, you'll either turn on talk through, which basically attenuates the sound and feeds in a little bit of ambient sound so you can hear voices and have a decent conversation with somebody while keeping your headphones on. But if you go into ambient aware, it is a permanent solution to having ambient sound on all the time. It does not attenuate the music. All you get is the ambient sound. The downside to this is that you have to choose within the app what this button is going to be for, so you can have it all at one time if you want to. I'm also glad that they included a dedicated button for the Google Assistant and Siri and Alexa feature. However, I just wish they wouldn't have taken all the real estate of this outside ear cup to do it. They could have just put a button right here and left this for something else that was really cool, like maybe ambient sound. The ambient sound feature that's missing here, they could have moved it here or something like that. Now the ANC Performance is actually pretty incredible. It is a step or two below the Sony WH-1000XM3, but you will get solid noise canceling out of these things. It's going to block out a lot of the sound as well as some of the voice. It'll push it into the background. That way they don't bother you so much. The sound quality doesn't change with the ANC on either, and that's something you should expect for a set of headphones at this premium price tag. Now taking phone calls on these things should be really good, considering they use some of Apple's technology with their microphones to get the phone call quality on point. So hopefully this phone call quality test comes out pretty good. To sum it all up, I really do like the JBL Club One headphones, but I cannot love these with all of my headphone junkie soul. There's just too much here that is missing, or that I don't like, as far as not having enough volume, the Google Assistant button, the fact that these sound way better wired than they do in Bluetooth mode, and also that if these are going to be made for maybe some part-time DJs, how come they don't swivel and do what other DJ headphones do? But for $350 Bluetooth headphones, I'm not too sure about that. They're just lacking a little bit too much much to spend $350 for Bluetooth headphones. Now, if you were going to purchase these for wired listening only, I would absolutely approve a $350 price tag. But these are being touted as Bluetooth headphones for maybe the average person or maybe a part-time DJ. And that's another problem I got, is that they don't swivel and stuff like that. So I have a hard time with the $350 price tag, but that's just me. Now, y'all know I ain't no expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is life is short, so you might as well be getting your jam on. Now, if y'all had a good time hanging out with me during this video, make sure you throw me some emoji hands up in the comment section. And until I get back to y'all again, make sure y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you. Oh, so you one of them cats that like to just run up in a place, take what you want, then leave, huh? Man, you better hit that subscribe and notification button. That way you know when I'm over here opening up new stuff. And while you're down there, you might want to consider tapping that join button and becoming a member, because membership has its perks. See, that wasn't so bad. All right, man, I appreciate you, and I'll see you at the next one.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?